everybody's having a great Sunday. I'm just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit this morning. Let's talk. You know, I'm sitting out here, just finished my meditation, so I wanted to come out into the fresh air and just meditate a little bit. You gotta excuse me, I'm looking around at my surroundings. But I just wanted to come out and meditate a little bit, and so that I could share a message with you guys. Well, not only for that, but just for myself. Hey Chad, how you doing? How you doing, man, brother? How you doing? But I want to talk about, you know, that victim mentality, you know, a lot of us carry on. You know, some of us not even aware of it. You know, that we carry this mentality. Oh, excuse the airplanes, guys. You know, it's Sunday morning, the airport is really busy, so you're gonna hear a lot of airplanes flying by. But anyway, you know, guys, you know, I was just thinking and just reflecting that, you know, I was rolling through my timeline, and you know, a lot of people, you know, I see a lot of posts and a lot of people talk about, you know, I'm good, big sis. That's great, brother. That's great. I'm doing good. I'm doing excellent. It's a beautiful day, and I am just enjoying the day. Just being grateful that I'm alive and that I'm just being able to enjoy life. You know what I mean? That's what I'm grateful for today. But you know, I was reflecting on this victim mentality, guys. You know, we see these posts and people say, they tell us, you know, you gotta love yourself. You gotta think positive. You've gotta change your thoughts to change your life. But a lot of times, you know, they're just posts. They're just people saying it. And they just say it so freely because they've learned how to do it already. And they're telling people who don't quite understand how to do it. But I don't see many people telling people, you know, this is how you do it. This is how you do it, because I can hear it all day long. I can see people talking about it all day long, but tell me how to do it. Tell me, you know, so that I can. You feel me? You feel me? You know, because what I've learned about the victim mentality is because I lived the victim mentality myself. You know, I was always blaming others for the things that happened to me. I was always blaming, you know, life happening to me. You know, I didn't see life happening for me. You know, I had that woe is me attitude. You know, oh, my life is just going to be the same because nothing will ever change. You know, that's just the way life is. But the thing about it is, I was never taught to really love myself. I was really never taught that if I change my thoughts, I could change my life. I was never taught any of these things. I had to learn these things through a process. You know, I had to study. I had to read. I had to listen. I had to take action and do these things myself so that I could change. You see this smile that you see, you know, on social media? That wasn't always there. I used to always walk around with just my head down, you know, expecting bad things to happen, you know, in my life, because I was so used to living in the victim mentality that I couldn't see past that. You know, I don't blame myself and I don't blame other people for living in that mentality, because what happens is it's an acquired behavior. You know, it's acquired, it's learned through our life experiences. And if we don't know how to get out of it, we're going to continue to stay in it. See, that's the thing. We've got to learn how to get out of it, you know. And what I've learned through all my studies is that the victim mentality is actually a coping strategy. I was like, wow, I was using that story. I was identifying with the victim so that I could cope, so that I could keep others away, so that I could build a wall around myself, because I was always expecting bad things to happen. So that wall that I built around myself, it protected me. We use the victim mentality to protect us from things that we perceive that we expect to happen. See, when we see things in a negative, when our perspective is always negative, then that's what we're going to attract to us. So if we're thinking negative things will always happen to us, guess what? We're building a wall around ourselves to protect ourselves from it, because we're expecting it to happen. It's also used to seek attention. For me, I use my victim mentality to seek attention. When I was 20 years old, because I lived in that victim mentality for so long, I tried to take my own life. I tried to end it all because, for one, it was a way for me to get attention. I would tell people, oh, I'll just leave this earth. It was a tactic. It was a strategy to keep people with me because I didn't love myself. It was a strategy to cope with life because life was happening to me. At least that's what I thought. But life doesn't happen to us, guys. Life happens for us. Life happens for us to experience it, to engage with it, and to learn from it and grow. That's why life happens. Of course, bad things still happen to me, but because I changed my perspective, I no longer see it as bad because I look for the good in it. I look for what's good happening in my life. I don't see the negative aspects of it. Yeah, I'm not going to say I don't see the negative aspects, but I see the negative aspects, but I embrace it and use it as a learning experience. I use it as a learning tool. And see, that's what a lot of people don't quite understand, is that you have to use it as a learning tool. Hey, how y'all doing today? And see, when I was 20, I didn't know all this. I used my action to try to commit suicide to get attention, to get people to pay attention to me. I used another example in my course where how I reinforced that victim mentality by when I got hurt in school. I was before I got hurt in school, I was always seeking attention from my mother, because I was dying for my mother's attention. And when I got hurt in school, boy, I tell you, everybody was giving me attention. Oh, you hurt. Oh, let's see about you. And I was like, mentally, I didn't consciously know this, but mentally, I was like, oh, pain gives me attention. So maybe if I live in pain, I can now get attention. I can now get the attention that I've been craving for. But what was happening is it was just self-destructive. It wasn't good attention, because now I taught myself pain gives me attention. And see, that's what a lot of people don't understand. We reinforce that victim mentality when we experience pain, and we constantly tell our friends. We might be telling our friends that, so-and-so left me, I just lost my job, woe is me, I don't know what to do, and people, they show you compassion and they give you that attention, but all they're really doing is they're reinforcing your victim mentality. That's what they're doing, I just, my reflection today about the victim mentality, it's just really about getting, being able to, remove yourself from being a victim. I know a lot of times people fear when they have to release that victim story, because that's what they identified with for so long. They identified with being a victim, and they don't want to release it because it's what's been protecting them. It's what's been protecting them from pain, so they think. But holding on to that victim story is not protection for you. All it's doing is creating more suffering for you. That's all it's doing, is creating more suffering. Hey, Reginald, I'm sorry if I'm missing the comments, guys. I just want to, I'm just in my element, and I just needed to share this, guys, because, this victim mentality, I did a lot of self-reflection, and, it took me 20 years after my attempted suicide to realize I was living a victim. I was living as a victim. And for me to release it, who was I without my pain? If I was to release my victim story, who am I without my pain? I felt like I was no one. I felt like I wouldn't have an identity if I released that victim story. Because that was who I am, that was who I was at the time. I was a victim, and being able, and if I was to release it, I wouldn't have known who I was. So I held on to it because, one, it was my identity. For two, it was keeping me safe from harm. It was keeping me safe from being hurt again, and I realize now that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted for my life. But it took me 20 years to realize that. So my point here, guys, is, you don't have to live in your victim story. You can release it. And you can find something else, something more empowering to identify yourself with, to identify yourself as. Because no matter what goes on in your life, you're still amazing. You're still a beautiful person. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I don't know. It pains me, guys. It pains me, to realize that, I missed a good portion of my life because I was living as a victim. I was living a victim story. And I don't want you guys to go through that. That's the reason why I do what I do. That's the reason why I do what I do, because, I don't want you guys to, identify yourselves. I want you guys to really know who you truly are. I want you guys to really know that, no matter what happens, you're an amazing human being. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what your past story is. Release that story. Create a new story for yourself. You deserve better. You really do. So, one of the first things that I suggest people to do is stop blaming others. Stop blaming others for things that happens to you. Start accepting responsibility for your life. Start asking yourself, what role did you play in this situation? And truly be honest with yourself. What role did you play? You have to accept the responsibility for the role that you play in the things that happen to you. Because remember, what you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you attract into your life. So what thoughts are you holding? What thoughts are you keeping that's continuously attracting negative things into your life? So that's one thing. And then the next thing is to be compassionate with yourself. The one thing that I lacked with myself was being compassionate. You know, I didn't know how to be compassionate with myself. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, show yourself some love. You know, talk to that inner child and tell that inner child that it's going to be okay. Tell that inner child that you love them. Tell that inner child that you are there for them whenever they need you. You know, especially when you're experiencing hard times. Especially then. And my next thing is to really forgive and let go. Learn the art of forgiveness. Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive others. A lot of times we don't want to forgive others because we think that if we forgive others, we're making it okay, that what they did was acceptable. But we're not. Forgiveness is not about, you know, what you or somebody did is acceptable or not. It's for you to be able to experience that pain and then release it to let it go. Forgiveness is all about you. It's not about anybody else. And for the last week, that's what I have been meditating on all week long, 3 times a day, meditating on forgiveness. Forgiving myself and forgiving other people. And one other thing, you know, is to just build up your self-esteem. You know, do things to build up your self-esteem. Man, I found this app. I'm finna get silly on y'all now, but I found this app that has been building up my self-confidence, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize it could build up my self-confidence like that. You know, I was tripping. And the last thing, guys, is really, you know, stop the self-sabotaging. You know, stop, release that control that you feel that you need to have over other people, over, you know, the trouble that you are expecting to come your way. Release that control. You know, you can't control the situations that happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. But a lot of us, we want to control what happens to us. And that's that wall. You know, that's that wall we build. You know, and you know, I had to realize that a lot of part of my self-sabotaging, you know, came from trying to control things, trying to control what happens to me. You know, in return, you know, I destroyed a lot of relationships. You know, when I was hurt in the past, I built up that wall and I reinforced that victim mentality. And what happened was, you know, I resisted and I closed off my heart to people, and I didn't truly know how to build a real relationship with people, establish a real relationship with people. So, you know, self-sabotage is self-destructive, you know. So stop self-sabotaging yourself by, you know, having to be in control of everything. We can't control everything. So that is my Sunday morning message to you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, if you think somebody, you know, has, you know, a victim mentality, or if you have it yourself, guys, please rewatch this video. You know, share it with somebody. You know, because victim mentality is real. You know, like I said, it took me 20 more years after, you know, my little incident to where I was able to stop identifying with the victim. So I say that to say that even after 20 years, you can still do it. Even after 30 years, 10 years, I don't care how long it is. If you're still breathing today, you can start releasing that victim mentality. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you guys. I love you guys, and I really hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. And I thank everybody who jumped on and watched. Thank everybody who commented. And I'm sorry if I didn't get to your comments and stuff, but you know, the spirit was just flowing through me, so I just had to speak. You know what I mean? So I love you guys, and you guys have a wonderful Sunday. All right? You guys take care.